welcome to the Dressage with Sally channel. My name's Sally and today I'm going to share with you a workout from the Novice Guide, the Dressage with Sally Novice Guide. As a coach and trainer, I've helped hundreds of riders improve their riding, and with my workout guides, I'm going to help many more. So if you've got your own, follow along, but I'll put a screenshot up here and you can take a shot of that and use it yourself. Today we're sharing a workout from the Suppleness family, so let's dive in. Today we are looking at workout 8 extended from the Novice Workout Guide. You can find that in your guide on page 85. So the last video was a workout also from the Suppleness family and saw you try a half loop in canter. I recommended everyone who has a confident canter try that one. It's a really good one to have a go, and it's not going to destroy your confidence. It's going to give you some clues as to where your canter training is at. So I hope that went well for you. This workout is another one from workout 8, Strength, Suppleness and Straightness. It's quite a mouthful really. But you can't have straightness without suppleness, and you can't have strength without straightness and suppleness. So they really do go hand in hand. And it's something all of us need to work on, whether we're riding Prelim or Grand Prix. Firstly, you'll be all warmed up. You'll have tried a few transitions and a few of your favourite exercises, or lightly touch base with the work you were doing last session. This one starts in canter. You need a working canter at A. So you'll need to plan your canter setup and depart so that you can be in working canter. You can do it as a transition at A or as you go past A. The first thing we see here is a 5 metre loop off the long side. The 5 metre loop starts at K and ends at H. You're in your working canter. If you didn't try last week's exercise, it's a timely reminder that it doesn't matter how wide your loop is. If you're only leaving the long side by a metre, that's fine. If you're only leaving the long side by a foot, that's fine too. You don't need to go the whole 5 metres, but if that's comfortable for you or it's not too much of a stretch, then 5 metres is fine. You'll have the same setup requirements for a 5 metre loop as you would for a 1 foot loop, and that's the point. So you want to make sure your horse doesn't fall out of canter. You'll need your outside leg back for the whole long side to support them. Keep your front body up so that the wither doesn't drop, as that's a great way to fall out of canter. And keep the momentum. If you feel a tiny drop back from your horse, really allow it forward with your body or send it forward with your seat. Okay, so for this one, you need to keep your bum in the saddle. Well, for this exercise and all things dressage really. And you need it there, not only because it says to the horse, keep going in this way, keep going, moving, covering the ground, cantering with this quality, but also because you've got the short side coming up and you don't want to fall on your face as you navigate your way around that. And you're not going to navigate the short side if you don't have your bum in the saddle with a really good seat. So you've made it back to H and your short side is looming. A bit of inside leg, a half halt of varying degree on your outside rein, maybe even a half halt in both reins. All of this will help you navigate that first corner. Do your half halts again and then breathe out around C. Then more half halts before the corner, more breathing, and well done. So now you have the long side and no holidays. Stay with it. It needs to be ridden well. And what can happen is that horse can get strung out on the long side, and then you've got a lot of work to do when you get to P. So best thing is to prevent that horse getting really strung out, and then you don't have to do lots of work at P and you can just navigate your teardrop beautifully. As you enter the long side, your horse might be thinking lengthen canter. So really make sure that you keep it at a working canter, keep that canter stride a little bit shorter so that the curve at P is nicely executed. And as you hit P, look around your line. Plan where you're going to go. It's only 15 meters, it'll come up quick. Plan it smoothly, ride it smoothly. Whatever line you plan, that's the line you ride. And then once you have finished the curve, you'll be on a straight line, diagonally back to the same long side you came from. And on that straight line, you can go a little bit and come back a little bit. Go a little bit, come back a little bit within that canter. Not to the extent that it would be a lengthened canter back to a working canter, but it could be perceptible from the sidelines. So a little bit bigger, a little bit shorter. And then you'll be sitting up, ready for the track R to M with the transition at the end. Be precise with your line at R. If you're planning to land at R, landing a couple of meters either side isn't okay. If you had planned to land a couple of meters either side, then that is okay. So again, what you plan, that's what you ride. You've got to transition to working trot at M, and so that's why you need that good planning. The horse will be more obedient and you'll have a beautiful transition back into your working trot. You want to avoid the horse falling on its face, because you've got that short side to navigate. If your transition back into the working trot is successful, then your short side will also be successful. You will probably need 2 or 3 half halts between R and M, and make sure you keep that left leg back for support in the canter. And then once you're back into your trot, you're definitely going to need a half halt between M and that corner. Talk about precision. But if you can get one there, your short side is going to be so much easier, and the next corner is also going to be so much easier. The second short side corner, you'll need another preparatory half halt, and that's what's going to help you get off the wall and onto the long diagonal. This corner will help your horse engage its inside hind leg. As you ride it, imagine the horse gets a little bit shorter from nose to tail. They should feel a little bit more in hand for that corner, a little bit more collected. Because on the diagonal, you're going to unfurl this collection just a little bit. Not to the extent that it would be a lengthened trot, but so that there is some sort of transition there. Because then you want to transition back. And where you do this is the trick. Don't forget, we've got a canter transition coming up at F, and you want to be on the ball for that one, which is where all this preparation comes in. You want that preparation, you want the horse's attention, so that when you come back at F, you've got a good corner coming up. You'll need all the preparation and attention you can get. So do a few transitions on the diagonal line. Longer trot, shorter trot, longer, shorter, and so on. You might be able to get quite a few of those in. And these transitions are, again, barely perceptible. You're not doing working trot length and trot back to working trot, nothing like that. You're just letting the trot get bigger and then bringing it back just a little, just a little. If there was an onlooker, they might be able to see it. You should be able to feel it in the saddle. And these transitions are gold. They are what's going to keep your horse paying attention. They are what's going to give you something to do so that you don't just have a little brain holiday. These are what's going to set you up for the next transition. Make sure you change the flexion after the center line so that the horse has plenty of time, so that you've got plenty of time to feel prepared before F. And if you need to do that transition on the diagonal line, then that's fine. As you progress, you would want that transition to be quite accurate. Some riders may need that little bit of a corner coming from the diagonal line onto the long side at F for that tiny bit more engagement to be able to get that canter transition. But plan it. Well before then, you should know where you're going to ask. You should know what you're going to ask at what point, and that is where you should be doing it. So you take your canter transition and you can do the workout again. You can try this twice before a pat and a rest, and if you haven't achieved what you want by the second time, then continuing isn't going to make it better. So have a rest, and if you want to, after your rest, you can start again. If you have your own novice guide, you can see that we turn the page and you can continue on with the next one. If you do this, again, only 2. So you might do that one, continued on to that one, that's 2, before you have a rest. You might do that one twice and then have a rest, or you might do that one, have a rest, and then start with this one. But the point is that it's really important that you have little rests often. You know, you only need to rest for 30 seconds, 60 seconds. You know, just a quick brain holiday for you, a quick brain holiday for the horse. Make sure that praise is there, and that's what's going to make picking up and tackling the next one really easy. And you can take that, you know, take that theory, take that philosophy into the rest of your training. You don't need this, but you do need whatever you're doing, plan it, ride what you plan, have short bursts, and then have a pattern rest. Okay, back to this one. If you want to add difficulty, you can do the entire exercise in canter without any trot. You'll have a little counter canter around that short side, and then that will bring you onto the diagonal, which will then in turn bring you back around to true canter. Of course, you'll need to give your horse plenty of support with the left leg and plenty of half holds of varying strength. And remember, if your horse drops out of the canter, it's probably because your sternum went down, pushing the wither down. It's probably because your seat came out of the saddle, losing that connection, or because your half halts were too slow, and again, losing that connection with the rein. If you want to make this a little easier, come back to the trot before R, well before R. And that way you don't have to, you can separate the transitions out. You can have a trot transition, a moment, and then the transition onto the long side, a moment, a transition for the corner, and so on. And if you're not sure if you can do this one, that's exactly where I'd start. Once you get comfortable with it, you can then do the trot transition after R, and then once you get more comfortable, that's when you can do your trot transition at M. But again, plan what you're going to do and ride it that way. Hopefully you can see how suppleness, straightness, and strength all go together. Once you ride it, then you'll be really clear. This is a fun workout that adds a bit of challenge without being too long or having too much to remember. So enjoy it, and remember to breathe. Don't forget to look out for my weekend workouts to try. I share these on Facebook, so go and follow us there. And if you've missed those, you can always hop over to the website. All the workouts are uploaded as a blog post, so you can go back and try them there if you haven't seen them on Facebook. And if you want your next ride to be happy, confident, and connected, then one of these is your friend. Hop over to dressagewithsally.com and you can find a guide that's right for you. You can use the code YouTube for 10% off. Or you can download the Secrets of the Circle guide, also from Dressage with from dressagewithsally.com, and you can try some workouts for free. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell and like this video as well. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate that there are many things capturing your attention, demanding your attention, and I really appreciate having your eyes and ears here on the Dressage with Sally channel. I'll see you all next time.